resolution. It's 9:10, you guys. Okay, Stephanie, are you here? She's there, Stephanie. You brought your consultant with you? Okay. And, you know, it's an update, so if it's information that we already have, please don't go over that. Okay.
Aloha, and thank you for having us. Some of the people had requested for us to go through the timeline of the permit process and also some of the background of the Oahu SPCA. I've brought with us Landon Johnson. He's part of AECOM, Environmental Engineers, and he will speak when I'm finished. I just wanted to give a little background about the Oahu SPCA. It's a community center founded with a no-kill philosophy and dedicated.
Stephanie, you told us this in September.
Oh,
We
okay.
already know.
Okay, sorry.
Do you have
Remember.
new information?
They wanted me to go through all the steps that we had taken already
It's
for the
not
permits
necessary.
process.
As I mentioned to you, all the board members are aware of the permit application that was submitted. We were given that in September after your presentation. So we're aware of the components of the permit application that was denied. We don't really need a rehash of the timeline. Is there any new information? We were told earlier tonight from the mayor's rep, from DPP, that there has been no new permit application submitted. So are there any plans to submit a new permit application?
Yes, we're currently working on the environmental assessment, and we're spending a lot of time detailing it so that we can submit it properly. Also, there was a question if we had a conservation plan, and the National Resource Conservation Service had completed a conservation plan after we had worked with the Soils and Water Conservation District.
Rick, is this your kuleana?
I'm not aware of any conservation plan. Normally, if conservation plans are prepared, then they're brought before our district, the Windward District, and we have to date seen none.
Stephanie, so are you planning to submit something?
Yes, I thought the National Resource Conservation Service had provided it, but I will provide that to
Okay.
Rick.
You've got a question for the property?
Not yet.
No, for you.
Pardon me?
I think she's got a
Flora,
question for you.
Oh,
if possible, and Stephanie can go through it briefly,
You-
since this has been ongoing for months and months and months.
Can
Since this has been going on for quite a while, and maybe my memory is not what it used to be, can we get a brief timeline of what has transpired, if it can be brief? I mean, I would appreciate an update if it's possible.
okay. Pardon me? Pardon me? We've been getting an update. Stephanie came to the board. All of us heard about it on August the 11th, on the television spot. Stephanie came to the board on August the 24th and made a special presentation. There's been updates in September, October, November, January, and February by Department of Planning and Permitting. I suggest that you go back through the minutes and review all that has transpired. It's pretty comprehensive. And also the permit application was given to all the board members in September. So we have quite a bit of information, and we are following up on some, in January, a very significant presentation was made by the Army Corps of Engineers. At that meeting, the information that came out historically, that it was designated as a wetlands from 1977 by the President of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, has jurisdiction. There has been comprehensive, massive studies on the wetlands. In January, there was a question to the Army Corps of Engineers as to how complete their review and their decision was they had not realized that it was designated a wetlands and with comprehensive studies. So that question remains open. And then, of course, you can review February's minutes, that came up. So we have a very comprehensive timeline as to what has occurred with this particular project, and there's really no point in rehashing it. So is there new information?
I just wanted to highlight that we have been working with the Army Corps since January of 2015. And so they have pretty much been guiding this project in preparation for the SMA permit. And then I just wanted to let Landon say a few words about the environmental assessment.
Okay. Your name, sir?
Good evening. I will keep it very brief. As Stephanie said, my name is Landon Johnson. I'm an environmental planner with AECOM, and we're working with Oahu SPCA to prepare the environmental assessment for the SMA application, and we'll be coordinating with DPP. Sounds like you guys have all of the background, so I won't go into detail, but we welcome input, and we understand that there are concerns, issues, but we're going to help Oahu SPCA through the procedures and all of the policies and make sure that the process is followed. So the draft EA will be coming out hopefully very soon, and everybody will have a chance to weigh in, but we welcome any input in the interim as well. Thank you.
Okay. So, Art, you have the heads up that the permit application is coming your way.
I've had the heads up for some time.
Okay. Questions for Landon Johnson from this side? Yvonne, I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to take up.
Sorry, I just want to, and perhaps I missed some of this.
Yes.
So maybe I need to go back and check through the minutes, but I would like to see a timeline of what went on from you folks, and I know Art has done some good reporting, like what was submitted, what was approved, what was disapproved, what was submitted, what was approved. It's been kind of ongoing for a long time, and maybe I'm the only one. It's kind of like a jumble in my head, and so I would like some clarity.
Okay. Yeah, we have the big picture. This is a complex issue. There are many government entities that are involved, and so it's been brought to light through testimony. In January, Shelley Lynch was here, So there's just been a lot of input from different people, and so because you've missed some of the meetings, it might be good just to review the minutes. That way we just don't go over the same thing over and over again. Yeah. All right. Yes, Clifford.
Yeah, since we started this project, isn't there another area on this island that you guys can acquire besides this wetland here? I'm pretty sure on the other side have.
Right.
The buildings are green structures, they're agriculture structures, and they will be 100% outside of the flood zone. And that will be only encompass 0.3 acres. And the rest of the 1.8 acres in the front of the structures will be, the invasive California grass will be eradicated, and native Hawaiian planting and grass will encompass the entire rest of the property, 1.8 acres in the front. So we are, the building is all the way Mauka of the property and 100% out of the flood zone.
Okay. Landon, we were told, the board has been told, that that wetlands is critical to our watershed. And so we'll be looking forward to the EA because, and the question that still remains open is that the Army Corps of Engineers claim jurisdiction without doing proper research on the history, that it was already a wetlands, and that it had been designated a wetlands by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Okay, you're still taking questions from us, right? So I'm submitting just so you know, we're aware and we're looking for that. Okay, Ken.
Okay. I remember this time. Okay, you've been notified that the question that you say is resolved is absolutely not resolved. It's the position of this community that it is a wetland and there's a lot of documentation for it. So, that being, I do hope you are trying to consider alternative areas much higher than right next to the ocean with a rising sea level, unless you're going to be there for like 5 years or something, you know. But there are other areas on the island, you know, Wahiwa, man, all this agricultural land has just been vacated. There's all kind of places you could go other than in a wetland of importance to the community of Kahaluu. We're not against the OSPCA. We're against the proposed location of the OSPCA shelter. Okay,
Yeah,
that is unacceptable to this community, and you will hear it over and over and over, and we will prove our case. So it behooves you to find another location so that when you are shut down here, and many people have been in the past, you have a place to go. Thank you.
So there has been information that was shared with the board, the importance of this lowland coastal area. Historically, that it was cultivated for taro and that it was cultivated for rice, and that it had been serving as a pasture. So it's the concern, you know, I just wanted you to be aware of all the testimony that we've heard over the months. Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you want to offer? Because I think there might be some other speakers.
I just wanted to reiterate that the buildings are outside of the flood zone, and that we envision in the future to preserve and enhance the wetland, which are currently at low valuation, and do not allow any habitat of any birds because of the invasive species is so aggressive to the animals.
Okay, thank you. I see a hand in the community. I mean, where's that hand? Your hand?
I wasn't here earlier. I don't know if there's someone else.
Okay, I'll take you first.
I'm surprised to hear.
And who are you?
Oh, hi. I'm Nandita Sharma. I live here in this neighborhood. I'm actually surprised to hear such an unequivocal comment, such as we are not, you know, the community does not want this. I am a member of this community, and I do want this. I think that it's a very, very important service to have in this area. I live on a street with countless feral cats. Just this past week, I had to trap a feral cat in on my property and take it to the Humane Society in Honolulu. Who kills the cat, right? I mean, I would love to have a no-kill SPCA close by. I think that the fact that it's on a wetland that currently is not functioning well, if we actually say we would like this wetland to function as a wetland, I think that this is an opportunity for us to achieve that goal while providing a really important service for this community. So I think that, you know, unless you've done a comprehensive survey of this community to see what they actually want, I don't think it's actually accurate to speak on our behalf and just say no at this point.
Yeah, we've received numerous, preponderous complaints. So thank you for your input, you know, on this. John Rapoon.
Thanks for your comments. You know, I respect that, but I want to ask some questions of Stephanie and Landon. Right? what do you put, either one of you, what do you put the total cost of this project at this point? If you could answer that for us. And I bring that up because you've already got 2 grants in aid that you've applied for from the state legislature that got approved, and you had legislators out celebrating the opening of this facility or the groundbreaking that totaled quite a bit. You're now in this current session, you have a grant in aid that is close to $500,000. So what do you put the total cost of this facility built out at this point?
Currently, we have $350,000 to spend on the property. There's a prefabricated, pre-engineered buildings with the R30 installation and the air conditioning included with the doors, windows, and everything. So those are valued at around $100,000. We have ordered custom fabric instead of the white fabric to blend into the hillside because it's all the way Mauka.
All I want is the total.
Yes, the total now is all we have is $350 to spend, but we estimate it would be more like $440,000
For the total facility.
for the building. Yes.
I'm not just talking about the building, I'm talking about the total facility, because that threshold of $500,000 is what makes this either a minor or a major SMA. And I'm wondering if Landon, if you can answer that question.
That's all we have to spend.
I can only answer in that, yes, you're right about the $500 or $500,000 threshold for the SMA minor. Right now, the valuations put it underneath, and that's accounting for the cost, what it would be to replace the structure. So a lot of it comes from donated materials, et cetera. But once we meet with DBP and they review that, if it shows to be over $500,000, you are absolutely correct that it would be SMA major, and that's a whole different ballgame.
Okay.
But yes, right now it's calculated under $500,000 still.
That was the permit application that we saw, that it was a minor.
Yes. That's
And Art Chalicone.
Thank you, everyone. I know it's late, but I just want to make a point of clarification under Chapter 25, which is the SMA law. Yes, there is a $500,000 threshold for a major or minor. However, that doesn't necessarily mean because a project is less than $500,000 that it automatically is a minor SMA permit. If there are significant environmental impacts to the coastal zone, the director of the department can require a major SMA permit, which would have a public hearing and would have to be approved by the city council. So I just want to make that clarification that just because it's under $500,000 doesn't necessarily mean that it's automatically a minor permit. And that's why the department is asking for an environmental assessment, so we can make that determination.
Okay. Any other questions? Who's first? Yvonne.
When do you plan on submitting the EA
Oh, and the permit application too.
and the permit application too?
I honestly can't tell you a specific date right now. We need to coordinate a little bit more with DPP and finish some of the consultations and have an exact date. But we understand this has been ongoing for some time, so time is of the essence. If I had to throw something out there, I'm hoping within 3 months we can get a draft together.
Okay. All right. Ken, you had a question.
Okay, in all the information that you've submitted, we have not seen any plan for sewage and effluent from the facility and an estimated cost of such an effort. Do you have at least a ballpark figure of how much you plan on spending on a sewage system and effluent management system?
Currently, we are planning on doing a septic tank where everything is pumped out and removed. We, as a practice at the shelter, collect all solids since the beginning of our organization. So that is our plan right now, and we estimate that would be around $30,000.
There's no more questions from the board. Questions from the community? Okay. So I just wanted to make sure you understood that no one's against the mission of your organization. The issue is with the choice of location. Yeah. Okay. Is there any actionable at this point? Or because other than the monthly updates we're going to be getting from Art Chalicone, I will not be putting this back on the agenda unless we have some action that we need to take. Oh, Ken Goldstein.
I wanted to just take that as board business rather than put it into the community until we get things clarified.
Okay, what are you saying?
What I'm saying is that we have some things to discuss as the board before we put it out as a community project of concern.
Oh, okay. Oh, under board business you're talking about?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So I will not be putting this back on the agenda unless some entity requests that we take this, take some sort of action. But I want to thank you both for coming out this evening and telling us what your plans are. And I assume you're also going to be working with, what is it called, Rick? National, what is your Soil and Water Conservation District something? I'm going to murder this. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. What's the name of the group?
Soil and Water Conservation District.
Thank you. Soil and Water Conservation District. Okay. I won't forget.